We are going, heaven knows where we are going. We know we are. Guys, Ghanaians, the second batch of Ghanaians has finally been repatriated back home to Ghana yesterday by the Foreign Affairs Minister of Ghana, and with the support of the President of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama. They are finally back home. They finally left South Africa yesterday, and there were a lot of things that happened, and the Foreign Affairs Minister stated the things that they plan to do to their businesses in South Africa, because most of those people that returned, they returned empty-handed. They didn't come back with their businesses. They have houses there, they have businesses there, and I'm going to be playing the video of the Ghanaians that came back from South Africa. When you see a working government, you would know. So Ghana government is just one of those governments in Africa that's so concerned about their people. They don't joke with their own people. Now they've repatriated some of those Ghanaians that are in South Africa. Now let's watch the video, and please also watching this way to like the video, share the video, and please kindly subscribe.
Young men, look at us. Wow. Thank you. How are you? You're welcome. Sure. Come inside. Are you okay? You're quite warm. You're fine? Games. You love games. Oh.
Assure you that those of you who have left behind properties, you've left behind shops, valuable assets, we continue to engage with the South African authorities, and we have put together a legal team. You are aware of our petition at the African Union, and we are going to explore all available channels to make sure that this clear violation of your fundamental human rights, the deprivation of your properties, your life investments, that you are well and duly compensated. So you can be assured that the government of Ghana is not going to abandon you in this moment of considerable distress. I also want to use this opportunity to congratulate all of you. Before you were allowed to board, the South African authorities carried out screening because they have a database of wanted criminals. So they screened all of you. And so far, all the evacuations we have been carrying out, not a single Ghanaian is on their wanted list. Not a single Ghanaian is a criminal who the South African authorities are looking for. And you have all passed the screening process. So this demonstrates that you have been law-abiding citizens living in South Africa, following their laws, and ensuring that you do not breach any aspect of South African law. And we want to congratulate you for making us proud and lifting the image and the esteem of our country. This confirms what we were told by President Cyril Ramaphosa's envoy. Last week, President Mahama granted audience to a special delegation sent by President Ramaphosa to come explain the migrant crisis and to seek rapprochement and to seize and ease tensions. That was the objective of the visit, as we were told. In the discussions, it became clear from what they themselves told us that Ghanaians are law-abiding, Ghanaians are not criminals, and that when you look at the statistics, Ghanaians are the least in terms of suspects, criminal cases, and those who are even in prison in South Africa. We really are not a country of concern. And that is what they themselves confirmed. So we will continue to hold talks with the South African authorities to ease tensions. We hope that they would also do better in managing this crisis, reining in those who are running amok, who are attacking, killing, looting shops. That is not the kind of Africa that we deserve. This whole xenophobic attacks casts a very bad image of our continent. And we hope that they will take steps to quickly remedy the situation. So that when we talk about Pan-Africanism, when we talk about African unity, when we talk about integration, we can live it by our conduct, not just by empty rhetoric or sloganeering. We must demonstrate it as citizens of Africa in what we do at all times. So I hope that the South African authorities will really get a grip of this situation and ensure that their citizens, and I want to believe that really majority of South Africans do not endorse what a few of their nationals are doing. And I hope that the majority and the government will rein in and do well to repair the brand of South Africa, which clearly has been damaged by this latest wave of xenophobic attacks.
I am Fauzuma Saudu. I work with CTFM and Channel 1 Television. Honorable Minister, as you have alluded, the resurgence of xenophobic attacks in South Africa is not new. The government has, among other things, explored various diplomatic alternatives to ensure that this issue is, if you like, nipped in the bud. But, Honorable Minister, it looks like some of these have not yielded the tangible results that is so far. At what point would Ghana conclude that diplomacy is just not enough? And also, Cyril Ramaphosa has recently condemned the act, but many have criticized this initial posturing, which many argue that if the president had taken this decisive action that he's promising now earlier, it would have prevented, an escalation of the situation. Honorable Minister, would the Ghanaian government have the word of the South African president for it, and what more measures is government prepared to take if this troubling trend continues beyond diplomacy? Thank you.
Let me commend you for those very erudite and lucid questions. So, congratulations. Congratulations coming from South African President Cyril Ramaphosa they are not late in the day, and whether condemnations are enough. I'll leave those judgments for the general public to make. We in the Foreign Ministry, we are always committed to cordial relations. I have always reminded everybody that the cornerstone of our foreign policy is what was well outlined by the Osagifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. When you read the first attempt to spell out our foreign policy in the National Assembly of 1958, President Nkrumah said that we seek to be friends of all and enemies to none. I know sometimes it can be challenging, sometimes it can test our resolve, but we are a nation that has always been pacifist. We always like to promote dialogue. We like to promote peace. And we always would prefer easing tensions than escalating.
On behalf of the Minister for Foreign Affairs and the President of the Republic, we welcome you and we want to encourage you not to look at what may have been lost in the past, but to look at the future with hope. You would go through immigration, and then the institutions after immigration will help you with the packages that government has prepared for you. You'll be given transport to go to the terminals and to continue your onward journeys back home. After this part of the ceremony, you'll be given specific directives on what to do. So once again, you are warmly welcome, and we wish you all well in your stay here. Also ensure that you give us your contact numbers, because beyond this process, NADMO and other institutions will be contacting you in your various places to see how you are doing and how they can continue the support. So it's very important. Fortunately, Airtel and Telecel are down there for those who have phones but don't have Ghanaian numbers. they would offer you free data, free call, and I'm told yesterday that free Momo. So
South Africans, whatever you are doing to your fellow African brothers, you guys are going to pay for it dearly. The Ghana government have decided to repatriate the second batch in South Africa, and they are back home to their country. There is no way you can even compare Ghana economy to that of South Africa, because it is not comparable. The only good thing about South Africa is their environment. You know, there is nothing so special about that country. The environment, their weather, there is nothing so special about it. But welcome back home to the motherland, and thanks to the President of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, and the Foreign Affairs Minister, Samuel Okuzato Ablakwa, for making this possible. And every other government in Africa should also emulate this, especially Nigerian government. Please emulate this and bring back your people. There are still some Nigerians, I shared the video some days ago, some Nigerians are still in South Africa begging to be repatriated. They want to go back home. They want to go back home. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Please kindly share this video and like.